So over the past few months, I have accumulated some books. And, you know, I don't know how this happened, but I went through them to see how many I had bought recently, and it's a lot. So today we are going to be doing a book haul. I'm going to show you all the books that I bought since February. Some of these are gifts, or were gifts. Some of these I bought myself. Most of these I bought myself. Some of them are pre-orders, you know, the whole thing. So I remember saying like in February or something like, I'm not gonna buy many books until my pre-orders come in. Yeah, that's funny because I bought quite a few. So I'm gonna show you them. Let's just get started, shall we? So first was a gift. I got Magnolia Parks, the first book. I got this for Valentine's Day for my husband. I read Magnolia Parks on my Kindle and I really wanted the physical copy. So I got it and I have annotated it a little bit, but I plan to fully annotate it and I'm only like 40 pages in. So I started that a couple months ago, haven't continued it. So you all know how I feel about Magnolia Parks. I cannot wait to finish rereading this because this series is so good. And Jessa Hastings just posted that she finished Magnolia Parks 3 and I'm scared. I'm gonna be honest, I'm really terrified to read that. So there we go. Speaking of which, I also bought Daisy Hates, the first one, because I did not have the physical copy and it's beautiful. Like, please look at that cover. I did read this on my Kindle on Kindle Unlimited in January, so I probably won't reread this anytime soon, but I want to eventually because it's beautiful and I love this book so much. Next, I have a couple gifts. So my friend Zoe sent me this. She had an extra copy and she mailed this to me and I'm so thankful. I'm obsessed with this book. It's The Temporary Roomie by Sarah Adams. Did I say what these books are? Magnolia Parks, Daisy Hates. Anyways, so this is The Temporary Roomie by Sarah Adams. It's one of her backlist and I love this book so much, so I'm so excited to have a physical copy and I'm so thankful to Zoe for sending me this. Thank you so much, friend. Love you so much. And then another one I got was Built to Last by Erin Hahn. I actually won a giveaway with Enlightened Soul Co. And so I got a Shatter Me crew neck and a book. And she sent me Built to Last. And also, I forgot to say this, most of these books I have already read. So I feel like very accomplished with that. I feel like a lot of times you buy books and they just like pile up, but all these books, or most of these books, I have bought or I've read. So got this. It's like a second chance romance with like celebrities. They are on a home renovation show. Anyways, I'm not supposed to tell you what these are about. I don't really know. I'm just gonna show you what I bought. Next, I got Call It What You Want by Bridget Kimmerer. I actually have a reading vlog reading this book and another one of these books. This is a YA romance. This guy named Rob lost everything when his dad was caught embezzling funds. And then Megan is a typical overachiever until the pressure got to her last year. And then they're paired up together for a calculus project. And so it's like kind of two outcasts coming together. And then I got a fun series. I feel like this video is gonna be so short because I don't have much to say, but I got Defy the Night and Defend the Dawn and they're beautiful. Please look at these covers. And the third book comes out next January and I literally cannot wait. I need to read that book, but they're not coming out with any arcs, so it's fine. But yeah, this is YA fantasy. It's basically about this area is being run down by this virus or this sickness, so they're having to like deal with it and figure out what they're gonna do. And yeah, so it's a trilogy. It's really, really good. Next, I bought some books that I had already read, but I just wanted the physical copy. So first was Beach Read by Emily Henry. This is a romance and it's about Augustus and January. They're both writers and they swap genres for a summer. So got that. And then also by Emily Henry, I got People We Meet on Vacation. And I actually read this in March, really enjoyed it. So I bought the physical copy. So had to complete my Emily Henry collection because I didn't own these two books, but I read Beach Read like last February or something. Next, another book that I read on Libby and needed the physical copy, Heartbones by Colleen Hoover. This is about Bea and she has only ever known a life of poverty and neglect and has to move from Kentucky to Texas to live with her dad. You just see what happens of her dealing with her trauma, overcoming the situations in her life. Next, I have another fantasy series. So I got Once Upon a Broken Heart and The Ballad of Never After. These are about Evangeline and she makes a deal with the Prince of Hearts and you just kind of follow the story from there. She believes in happily ever after, like fairy tales, all the kind of things like that. So this is probably, like you've probably seen this before, I feel like everyone's currently reading these books, but yes, very pretty. And they come out, the third one comes out in October and I cannot wait for that book to come out. So next, my pre-orders. I pre-ordered Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. I love this book so much. So good. We all know this. It's about Bree and Jacob. Bree is Alexis' best friend from Party of Your World. It's just so good. It touches on anxiety and and it's literally one of my favorite books of all time. So love it so much. Love a good pre-order. And then I got, well, actually that was a pre-order. This one I had to buy in person because my pre-order didn't come in. It is Happy Place by Emily Henry. We all know, if you watch my recent wrap up, that I love this book so much. It's literally so good. It's about Harry and Wynn, and they recently broke up, but they didn't tell their friends, and now they're going on a trip with their friends, and they have to fake date, pretend they're still together. So loved it so much. Literally one of my favorite books of the year of all time. It's also beautiful. Next, I got Practice Makes Perfect by Sarah Adams. We all know I love this book so much. I just recently posted a reading vlog reading it, and I got my pre-order in the mail. I ordered from the bookshop, and so I got a signed copy, and it's so cute. She did little doodles on it, and it's so cute. I'm obsessed, and I did reread this because it's so good. So this is about Annie and Will. Annie is Noah's sister from When in Rome, and Will is Amelia's bodyguard from When in Rome, and this is just so good. Like the small town, good girl, bad boy, with like him having tattoos, and he's like emotionally like closed off, but he meets Annie, who is a flower shop owner, and it's just beautiful. So I bought that. This one I had to go to the store and buy as well because my pre-order literally is coming today, a week later. So it's Meet Me at the Lake by Carly Fortune. This is a summer romance about Will and Fern, and it's like they met one day in college, and then they plan to meet up a year after that, and then one person doesn't show up, and then they see each other years later. So I have done a reading vlog on this, and it should be up by the time you see this video. So it's also beautiful. Like the cover is so pretty. Next, I have a book that I bought yesterday because I have a problem. So I'm currently in a reading slump, and so I'm just looking for something to help me get out of my reading slump, and I've also been looking for this book for a very long time. So I got Letters to the Lost by Bridget Kimmerer. This is the only book in this video that I have not read, so I can, like, you know, we can all wonder what it's about together. I can read the back or something. It says, can you fall in love with someone you've never met? Julia is drowning in grief after her mother's death. Declan is trying to escape the demons of his past. Writing letters to her mother is the only way Juliet can cope with her loss, but when Declan finds one of her letters and writes back, it sparks an anonymous correspondence. Such an immediate and intense connection with a perfect stranger feels astonishing and wonderful, and soon they are bearing their souls to each other. But this secret world can only sustain Juliet and Declan for so long as the reality surrounding them threatens to shatter what they've created. So it sounds very good. I loved Call It What You Want, and I feel like, oh, I've loved all of Bridget Kimmerer's books that I've read, but that one specifically, it's a YA romance, and I just loved the way she told it, and so I'm very excited to read another one of her YA romances. But this book has come out with a new cover, and I don't like the new cover. It has like people on it, not a big fan, and so I really wanted the old cover, and this was the last copy they had at my Books A Million. So very excited that I have the old cover because it's so much cuter than the one they have now. So I'm very excited to read this. There is a second book, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's called More Than We Can Tell. There's like a little sneak peek at the end of this. So I don't know if it's like connected characters or something like that, but I definitely want to read that one as well. But the one at my Books A Million, they had one copy left of that book, and it was a little messed up. Like the edges were a little messed up, so I was like, I'm not gonna buy it. I just bought Letters to the Lost. So that's the last book I bought. I will let you know. I'll keep you updated on this one. Hopefully I will read it next. I started a book on my Kindle hoping it will get me out of my slump, and then I will read this one after that, because her romances are usually pretty emotional. I mean, they are YA, so they're not like terribly emotional. Like they're not gonna like break you like, you know, the Magnolia Parks universe, or like, you know, an emotional adult romance, but they are pretty emotional for a YA romance, which I really enjoy, because I feel like usually YA romances are rom-coms, and I just love an emotional romance that's gonna make me feel things. So I'm very excited to read this book. So anyways, that is my haul. I hope you enjoyed. I'm hoping not to buy any more books anytime soon, but I probably will, to be honest. So, you know, it's fine. I feel like this just brings me joy. Like all of these books bring me joy. I've read all of them, most of them except one. So I feel like that's me justifying my purchases because I have already read them. Like I bought them and I did read them. So, you know, that's how I'm justifying it. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you've bought any books recently, or if you've read any of these books, what you thought of them. But I think that's it for this video. And I'll see you very soon for my next one. Bye.